Hey guys, it's not Sunday, but I'm live anyway, and I thought it would be fun. I was chatting with one of my friends about this, but to walk through some older cards and sort of see how things have changed because a lot of my friends have been getting into card making, so I started my whole beginner card series, but thought it'd be cool to look at some of my cards of like a year ago and see what's the same, what's different, what I would do differently or not. Hey Stamper Girl, how are you? But let's talk about current projects, I guess, before we get into that. I was live last night and on my friend Scott's channel and made some actual Valentine's Day cards. And they're kind of weird ones because they were special requests from the folks on the stream. So this is a little cat. This is a new stamp actually from Pajama Crafter that I really like because it has a really cool sentiment that says paws up for high five for Jesus, and then it also has some other things. And the Jesus part is separated if you want to not use it for depending on what you're looking for. But the thing that's interesting about this one is that I used like one of these kind of blender dealies on it, and you can see how you get with dye inks how you can get sort of these splotchy areas, which I thought was kind of cool because it looked like purple clouds, but um I can see I was kind of playing around with the that blending solution. I was kind of like, I don't know that I feel like it would matter a lot more for this kind of a brush than the normal blenders I use, which I used here, and you can see that this one came out a lot smoother. Anyway, this was just a cute little dog. This is watercolored, and this is colored penciled. This is a cat scrappiness release of last year, but I hadn't really used it, and I kind of like how it comes with the cancellation thingy and a bunch of little stamps. Anyway, I was kind of having fun with that. And then this one, I don't know if I showed you guys. It was a another Valentine's Day card. This is actually off the Winter House Mouse release. And because there's so much detail in these stamps, like I just did a little alcohol marker on it, and it looked pretty good. There's a little oopsie there, but that's okay. It all works out. But those were kind of some current projects, and then I've kind of fallen down the watercolor rabbit hole. So I've been playing around with some of my character stamps and actually a Technique Stamper Girl demoed on a stream with Lala on actually doing stuff. Let me see what I am missing. Oh yeah. Oh, not to be like a cranky person, but like they shut down like everything here. Like the grocery stores are closed and I don't know. It's snowing a lot, but it's like a fairly fine snow, so I don't know. I don't quite understand why it says shut down as it is, but I think it's supposed to get like less nice later, so Yeah, all of our schools were closed as of yesterday as well for today. Oh, do you have much to lease? I'm kind of curious because we got maybe 5 inches on like Tuesday and Wednesday, and they're predicting something stupid for today. I don't know, like 6 to 10 inches or something. Yeah, I prefer decorative snow too. I also prefer snow in December because like once the new year hits, I'm like over winter and I'm ready for spring. But anyway, yeah, she is in the flatlands. Uh who was I talking to? I think it's Jean who's in ECR streams a lot. Jean Morin is she's like an hour from me somewhere cuz we did the card swaps. But let's play around. Let's look at some old cards and we'll see. Oh, well, that's no fun, Delise. as like a IT person, right? Like you don't get an actual snow day, but you can also work from home. So I don't know. It's a pretty good deal. Anyway, I don't know, and I get these are actually from the stamp anything haul I did a while ago, and they're really fun characters, and I have a couple other ones, but now I have a lot more stuff in my cart because she does cool, neat little characters. Yeah, yeah, and Racine is like in I don't know, same latitude as me, just on the lake. But we shall see if this is fun. I thought it would be cool to go back to my old craft roulette cards. Well, start at the beginning of my craft roulette stuff and start with my first card ever and just sort of talk through what stuff works and what stuff didn't. I didn't plan to make a card today, so FYI. Although we might make one because it is snowing and there's nothing to do and there's really no reason, and I can always just cut this live up later. Let me see what is up, Delise. Oh, yeah, we're in the same boat, like, it's supposed to snow for, like, another day, so I think that's why people were concerned. And let me see what the parameters for this one were. This was my first card ever with Craft Roulette, but it was also, not my first card. I had done a bunch of holiday, watercolor cards actually, where you kind of like tape off a triangle and paint it green and it's a tree. So I'd done some of those things and really enjoyed doing that. And I was like into watercolor and acrylic paint before I got into card making. So some of this is kind of like I feel like there's some compositional stuff that I just wound up doing that sometimes made sense. But I don't know. I actually really like this card. The color palette is weird because it was made as a happy not anniversary, but whatever you call it, engagement. When people get the thingy where they're gonna get married, it was a card for that for a couple YouTube friends of mine, Smokey Steve and Mark, and their wedding colors were black and white with a little bit of red, so that kind of informed this color palette, I think. Um, the project had to be a fancy fold, and I don't know why I started Craft Roulette on a fancy fold. That was kind of a weird thing. Dusty hues and colors. It's interesting. This is sort of the era when the colors were much more specific. So dusty hues is pretty wide open. Um, element of starts with D and pennants. So I think that's why those happy pennants are there. Let me see if I'm missing things. Oh, hi Brenda. How are you? Nice to see you. But I actually like this card a lot. I actually like the red against the white pattern paper because it's the same pattern paper just with ink on top of it. So I like the front of the card. The inside, I think like if I was going to do it now, it kind of suffers from like here's 9 elements I like, and I'm just going to put them on the inside of the card. Um, so like there's stuff you can look at, like the dude is jumping, and that looks a little strange. And like the size of the dude versus the bat also is a little odd, at least to my eye now. At the time, I think I was like more focused on like doing the actual fun fold. I don't know if anybody is working today, Delise. I don't think so. I keep seeing Facebook posts from people who are like, "Yeah, my office closed, so I'm just not going to do anything until Tuesday." Although it's supposed to get stupid cold, so you know. Oh wow, interesting. Allegedly, Priuses do really well in the snow. Yeah, I like the front of the card. I think the thing that stands out to me looking at it now is that like the map idea, which I think actually makes sense for an engagement card in the sense of like, we're like making our path together and blah 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 kind of stuff. Like I feel like bringing the map into the inside would have been a good idea. I'd probably ditch the butterfly. if I wanted to put a dude, I'd probably use a bigger dude. He's actually from the birthday set, but I mean, I think as a first attempt, this was actually better than some of the ones we're getting. Well, better is an unfair word to use, but I feel like compositionally, like because I had looked at a tutorial, like all I really had to do was pick out the paper. This was the second one, and this one is very watercolory. It sort of suffers from the same thing, where it's like here's a bunch of stuff that um, goes together. I really like the background on this one. Um, I think the idea of using the wet on wet to like do the hill, make the hill out of it is interesting. Yeah, good luck on your test drive, fam. I hope it goes well. I believe the paper bag was an element, so that's why there's a paper bag. I don't know. I feel like it kind of could use a little bit more order, other than it being Halloween, which is kind of neat. But yeah, I don't know that I don't know. I very much like the like sort of above the pumpkins where there's like those really sort of saturated purple areas. Let's see what. So Slimline was the type. Sacks, that's why there's the that paper bag with the leaves on it. Purple and orange plus two plus one. What I'm guessing is blue. And then sequins or gems. So that's why there's those sequins there. I feel like I don't know. I like the idea of this card. I don't love the execution, but Oh, interesting. Yeah, I thought there was a cab company that switched over to Priuses and they said they did pretty good in the snow, but maybe not. Yeah, my buddy at work got an electric car, the Sonic, whatever. He likes it a lot. Yeah, Brenda, I agree. I love the background on this. It's just everything else that I'd kind of want to take a little bit of a red pen to. And I do like the idea of like the hill being made out of watercolor. Like I think that's kind of a neat idea. Although I feel like I don't know, like there's kind of like the background and everything else. So I don't know. I think there's still and the next card. Oh no, I guess it's the card after this, but there's another card in here that kind of feels that way too. This one I think was very much like I was looking at somebody's card sketch because this feels a lot more pulled together. I think this might have been after I mean, no, this was Annie's card kit, I got a one of. So that's where the flowers in the pattern paper came from. I'm guessing the yellow and blue is a color parameter. Oh, white and blue plus two. I don't know that I would do I would, I don't know. I think I'd change out that color card base to be either pink or blue, but not yellow, because that doesn't make so much sense to my brain. Yeah, I agree. I do think if the fence was behind the pumpkin, it would look cool. But I don't know. I like this card. This is other than the yellow base. I think this is pretty close to a card I'd make now. And I still like using the cricket to make sentiments when I can't find the sentiments. Although it did a little something wonky with the Y. Yeah, this is the other one where it's definitely a Halloween card. And like, wow, I overstamped the sentiment. Um, And like, I don't know why I didn't give him more of a flesh tone because he looks kind of dead compared to his outfit. It's like everything is bright and then he looks like a ghost. I mean, maybe he's like a dead dude or something, but um again, I haven't done these in a while. Oops, sorry about that. but I do like the watercolor background. Let's see. Project with a square colors in black background +3. Well, I didn't really do a black background, so oops. Um, Pick the guy because there's a sweater. You can see he's not quite grounded at the bottom of the card, which I think makes it a little weird. I do kind of like the sort of like for a Halloween card, I like the idea of the sentiment looking kind of like I don't know, dried blood or something. Like I like that idea, but it makes no sense with like Simon Hurley dude. Like if you had like I don't know, like some sort of like skull or something, it would look neat. Anyway, uh again, I think this one is sort of a lot of stuff altogether. This card is still one of my favorites. It's the same map paper that was in the first card, but I really like this, and I found it the other day, and I was going to give it away for Christmas, but I like it too much, so um, I actually hung on to it. But I like how the pink and the red really pop against the teal. So this is still a card I would probably make. Do like the Simon Hurley kids. The thing I like best about them, and I need haven't figured it. Stamp Anything seems to do the same thing where like they're all the same size, so like you can mix and match them really easily, which I like. And like, do I have one? I don't have one currently at hand, but a lot of them will have the heads and bodies separate, or you can do that if you do stamp surgery too. Except don't tell Lynn. But then you can sort of mix and match the heads on the bodies if you want. Like if you find it like a thing that actually looks like you find someone who actually looks like a specific dude. Yeah, my parents said that. They were looking for a non they have a white car now, but they used to have like this really nice they really like champagne color. Yeah. I don't know. Is this such a me thing? But like sometimes you make a card you really like, and I'm like, I just want to hang on to that. Like, I mean, obviously, I have pictures of it, so it's not like I couldn't use it again, but I just really like the card. It makes me happy. It's also made with Oh What Fun. That's where the stickers are from. And I really like these Spellbind. Well, I guess they don't make them anymore, but when they made their stickers, they had a really nice matte finish, so they didn't look too shiny. Um, I picked some, I picked some stickers up from Target, and they were pretty good, but like they were all very shiny. So I don't know. I like. I'm sorry that they're kind of getting out of paper products. Alrighty, Pam. I will. It's kind of interesting walking through them. The weird thing is, like, some of them are very different than cards I'd make now, and some of them are very similar. Like I don't know. I don't have. I guess the only thing I would do on this is like the sentiment kind of blends into the background, but that's a pretty minor quip. Whoops. This is a weird card. This is so these leaves were elements, and I didn't understand how this die worked, so it almost cut this window out entirely, which is what it should have done. Um, but anyway, but I like the idea of like a see-through card, and this is an art. I really like that elf from Artful Angel. That's hard to tell because of how I took the picture. Yeah, exactly. Although the only thing that's annoying about it is like to a certain degree, you either have to mask or be really accurate with your stamping. But I don't know. I probably wouldn't make this card again. Like the dude is kind of pale compared to the like outside. I do like this. This is just a standard card base. It's just scored to make the actual panels. Although I have an embossing folder that does that now. But I like the idea of doing that as a technique. And the leaves are just ephemera I got from Hobby Lobby, I think that are glued on. But the window was kind of a fail, but I don't know. No, they're actually it's hard to tell in the picture, but they were ephemera from Hobby Lobby, and they actually had the like veins of the leaves are actually foiled. I still have some left. They're really quite nice. I wish they were stamps. I'd totally buy them. Someone did who did that? Stampin' Up! Released a set that's like that, where they're actual die cuts, but you have like the outline and then you have the veins as a separate thing. Although I'm sure they're available on the alternative market for not super expensive, or they might be on clearance. I don't know. Uh this one has some coloring issues on the balloon for sure, but I still like this. Um, the background's it's a little too clean and simple to me currently, but I don't know. Probably do this differently today. I do love this stamp set, which is the Cats and Plants one from Catherine Pooler. This is not actually my favorite cat out of that stamp set, but they're all like cats randomly hanging out in plants for some reason. But the color palette I like, the, like, navy and, like, a deep pink, I think that makes sense. There's just, like, a lot of empty space on the card, and I don't think I would do that again. Oh, do you like the window? I thought it was kind of a fail, so I don't know, I may do that again at some point. Like, I would still use the same die, but you just need to sort of attach it back because it cuts like a fully cuts out a window, so you probably either you need to do some fancy business, I think, so that it, wouldn't wreck it entirely. But yeah, it's interesting. I make very few birthday cards. Although there was one I made recently that I really liked. What was this? This was a split panel card, I think, was the one that we wound up. I think that was the project. Oh, it's a spanner card. So the part with ribbon and the red panels are attached, and then yeah, I mean you can kind of see it here. Then this reindeer again. Not patient. I would be more patient with the colored pencil coloring here, I think, but I mean, generally, I like the idea. I wish I still had that paper. I think it's from Reindeer Games. Anyway, I don't think there's a ton to say about this one. You can see this is sort of where I started getting into the epoxy dot things. Now, this is another. This is a cute one. I think this is also from a What Fun. I guess I'd probably not have floating cupcakes this time if I made this again, but I mean, like, again, it's still a cute card. It reminds me a lot of that second Halloween that square Halloween card where it's like there's a lot of stuff on the card, but like it's not really connected in any way. Um, so I don't know, but I mean, I think the idea here makes sense. I do think there's a card base that sort of has ink effects that I don't think was really taken advantage of here. Plus, it looks kind of weird where like it sort of changes colors, but I don't know. This one is cute. I need to find this stamp. This stamp actually came in the advent calendar, and then the background's Simon Hurley background stamp, and this sentiment's from one of Simon's sets as well. But this I like a lot, and you can see this is sort of where like my fascination with tags started. So I don't know. It's you definitely kind of see the idea of a background. Well, I mean, you saw that with the watercolor too, but like the idea is sort of like foregrounds and backgrounds. And I feel like on something like this, like the space is a lot more balanced than on some of the earlier ones. This is almost, I have there's one I made with, on a thing with Delise and I think it was an MCA where we made I used that same dog stamp but did it in like hot pink. And I'm curious what the parameters are. This one is oh yeah, this is just oh this is a joyfold. Yeah, and we see I think this is the first joyfold I did and yeah. And smile or smiles was the element here. So I don't know. I still kind of feel like it's sort of like the dog and the dude have nothing to do with each other, but you know. Hey Don, how are you? Actually, you came up when I was streaming last night. I was making cards with Miss Southern Belle and Ron and Scott, and they were wishing you well. Hopefully, things are good for you. We were talking about Art Yahtzee, so I don't know. They might crash your Art Yahtzee at some point. But I do like. I really like the pattern paper on this. Just the two images that don't have anything to do with each other. I think I would probably change up. This one's cute. Think I still have the stamp set. It's all like origami stuff. I like this other than like you can definitely see some like technique issues with the coloring, but you know, again, I think it's sort of I mean, colored pencils are hard to be. Yeah, as you notice, I hadn't figured out how to rotate my photos, so that's why like these are all over the place. I think these will improve, but no, I mean this is using the I still don't love the ink background with, like, a solid pattern paper, like, if this pattern paper was a little different. I mean, I think this was also the sort of my era of oh, and you see that I was experimenting with, like, doing some kind of distressing around the edge here. This card I liked and still do. It's the same pattern paper as on the last one, although you can see that it's foiled here, but, um this I like this constellations and then this background that's probably a little messier than it would be today, but, you know. I think it makes sense in the idea of, like, New Year's and fireworks and, I don't know, at the time, I wasn't thrilled with how messy it was, but I don't know, I think it works out. I don't know that there's anything too interesting to say about this one. I don't know. I still don't do shakers all that much, and I really should. And here we get into, My this is the time offline card kit, but it is one of my favorites, and I have at least one in reserve. Maybe not really for Adventure in August next year, but thanks, John. I thought it would be fun because I started that beginner series a while back. I thought it'd be fun to walk through some of my earlier cards and just see how things have changed. I guess the other thing you notice with these is like there's no staging at all, which is I still think staging is kind of dumb. But in any event, what else? Oh, I made a table out of some pattern paper for the mug. Let me see. Two greens. So there are two greens in the map and the flashlight. I don't know about like the twisted citron kind of card base. I'd probably. Oh, see you, Brenda. I would probably do that a little differently. And I just found the stamp set. This this is not a card I would make now. Like it's like distressed, but not in an intentional way. I like the bunny. I think you can see like, and I like this. I have this set of You're a Star is from I forget who made the stamp set. It might be MFT, but it's all these sentiments like on a curve like this, which I like, which I think makes sense with the bunny. Like It would have been nicer to it's kind of weird, like, he's skiing on the tag, but there's grass, so I don't know. I guess these bunny the idea of this card was that, like, he's like a very talented snowboarder, and these are all bunnies watching him, but, again, I think this is one where you're kinda like if this has been done with more technical skill, it would have looked a lot better. But, you know. Oh, don't you? I mean I've been playing around with it. I don't really stage, but I've realized that you can easily remove whatever. Like as long as I shoot like photograph the card and it has like good lighting when I photograph it, like I can just remove the background and then do whatever in Canva and digitally put one in. Ah, technical difficulties. Perhaps we shouldn't click in the old intros folder. My bad. Anyway, moving on. I still kind of like this. Like I like the idea of this card. I mean, some of these would be fun to actually go through and like remake them. I guess the thing that kind of kills this one for me is like how the bunny border is like really oh goodness. This is a fun card that I really would like to. This would be a good one to redo as well. This is a kind of card where like don't think there's any like issues with the card per se, but like the coloring just has a lot of technical stuff that would be nice to go and redo, or do it in watercolor and like or like a metallic watercolor where you could like make the you could make the actual motorcycle moped thingy a little more pearlescent. I think this was a purse card. I do like this. This is Scrappy Tales paper. I do like the paper a lot. Um, I don't know if I don't know. This is one that I'm kind of. This is one of those I look at and I'm like, oh my, I just see technical issues everywhere. But now this one was super cool. This one I liked a lot, which um is just using lunar paste. The pink is lunar paste and the red is tissue paper, and I just did a collage technique on it, which I think is really effective with like just basically a silhouette stamp. See, the stamp didn't stamp as nicely, which is weird because like I have a stamp positioner and I feel like I didn't know how to use it for a while, but anyway. Now this one is really good. When was this one done? This was done episode 150. We're about to hit 200, so this is about a year ago. So this is probably 6 months into card making. Um, and I think you could see the much better ink blend here. Uh, oh, and there's a robot. I like the robot. But it was I'm sure it was a parameter. Yeah, robots. But yeah, this is also from that same Spellbinders thing. And this is a technique I still like doing, where basically you can just use ink blending to like make a very unspecific scene that you can then just put stuff on because it's really easy to make like an ocean or a sky or a hill or whatever. Like, are they on the beach? Where are they? We don't know. This is actually made with the same stamp set that I made that Valentine's Day card with yesterday. Uh, and it uses this conversation. I don't know. I think this is I don't know that I would change anything here. I feel like the darker gray kind of muddies it up. I might dump that and just use like the vibrant green and the vibrant blue. But I like that it's kind of like a bokeh effect. Um, I think I pulled in the gray because I thought it would make more sense with the speech bubble. But I think if the gray in the background wasn't there, it would have been a little more interesting. Oh, this was kind of a neat one. You'd probably enjoy this, Dawn. This was my first attempt at like doing a faux anything, and it's sort of an interesting faux leather technique where Basically, you take masking tape and just rip off itty bitty pieces, and then you stick it to a card panel, and then you sort of dab acrylic paint on it, so it creates sort of this weathered leather thing. This was for the Gina K episode of Craft Roulette, where leather, I think, was a option that was a parameter that led to the stamping her card using her stool, which was leather covered. Anyway, it was cute. At least I figured out how to do these right side up. Um, I do like this car. I like this silhouette. I don't know that I wouldn't like. I don't know why I masked off the colored bits exactly here. It doesn't make sense in my head now, but that's okay. So moving along, I do like that technique. I would probably do that again. This one was a better idea than an actual card, I think. It's a really cute stamp set. This is one that I got from Brian. And the sort of highlights are built into the stamp set, which is neat. I don't know about the three circles. I mean it was a parameter, but I feel like something more interesting could have been done. But I do like the idea of this being sort of a tag and then having the cat sort of hanging out there. This is one I gave away recently, but I like this jumping in puddles stamp set. It's a cute sentiment too. But again, you see sort of using an ink blend to just sort of create something. Hey Scott, how are you? And Dawn. Yeah, Dawn's been watching these. This actually I gave this to away as a like a holiday card to a friend of mine who lives in a climate without snow. But oh, this one was pretty cool. You see again I'm kind of leaning very heavily on the ink blending. But I really like I still have this die. This makes sort of an egg shaker. Hello, hello. How are you? Hopefully you are well. I'm just going through a year's worth of cards quickly. But I don't know, I'd probably make this card again. I like the sort of tulip spray and the way the that sentiment is done. And the fact that the same pattern is at the top. So I'd probably make that card again. And I mean that's there were some you can't tell in the picture, but there's like a lot of excess glue splatter all over the shaker that's not great. Oh, this is one of my favorite cards ever. Really good picture too. Anyway, I think this was for a Gina K episode or something similar. Um, but it's an easel card with that cupcake. But I really love this card. This is one of my favorite. This is probably one of my favorite cards that I've ever made, just because um it's really simple. Like it's just purple and brown is like the color palette, but I don't know. And you can see sort of not really well in this picture, but the thing that's used as the stop for the easel card is actually just like a fun foam sticker that I got from my mom, who got it from Michaels because she was using it for a pottery project to sort of play around with them as molds, essentially. Oh, thanks, Scott. That's very kind. This is one of the better ones. You miss the early ones where I don't know. The early ones weren't bad, but oh, this is a fun one too. I haven't made another one of these, and there's some sort of technical things with the ink blending on the front here, but it's a peekaboo card, so when you open it, the frog disappears and the owl shows up. But that was kind of a cute one. I should try making that card again because it makes a really neat looking card. Oh, and this is here you see these are like once I got my light box because that's why everything's white. I don't know why I decided to have like a chunk of a plant here, but anyway. Um this was kind of the first vintage card I ever made, actually. because it's got this very like, um, yeah, I think it was an Easter card, but I mean, it's from Alice in Wonderland, the Mad Tea Party, and that's why she's got her crown and it's blocked out by the placement there, but there is actually a Mad Hatter here. Well, I made it. He made cards yesterday, John. Yeah, I don't know. If there's much to say about this one. This is this was sort of my period of I'm going to put pattern paper and then mat something and then basically treat the thing in the middle as a canvas. So there's a few of those. Uh, Again, if I did it now, I'd probably try and ground the table there on something. It's kind of floating in midair. And here's another one. Oh, this I made for. I continued doing fun little vintagey things. Um, this this is just this is a Z fold basically, and that's no, it's a Dutch door. So this top part folds up where the Mad Hatter is, and then you have the two little ones. And I had vintage paper from somewhere. So anyway, again, this is my initial dive into vintage. And then we go back to cute Easter. I don't know how I went from vintage to cute Easter, but this is a really cute bird. I like the branches embossed. Um, I don't have a lot to say about this one. Like I don't know the color palette's a little weird, but you know it's fine. Isn't that was a cat scrappiness paper when she used to do the 6x8 pads. It's from I think Bunny Hop or Spring Fling, which maybe so it's like a 6x8 pad, which was nice. I would like it if that paper got reissued, but anyway. Yeah, you should, Don. It's a really fun stream, and like I'm curious. I'm sure it would be interesting to hear your thoughts on the cards too, because I don't know, I love when people who don't make cards because they're just really creative. Because I feel like, oh, this was a fun little card for my aunt. This was when Lynn did a stream, I think, where we wound up getting a discount code to get some digital stamps. These are from the greeting farm. This was the rabbit hole of many Ians to come. Although I don't think this is the first one, but this was made in like that era. But I think this is the first attempt I ever did of like sort of a scene card where it was just sort of like, you know, like an actual something going on. But I don't know. You can see I hadn't quite figured out how to pick colors, although the checkout girl's hair is pretty good. Oh, and I love this stamp set. This is a good one. The picture's actually pretty good because like now I'm actually caring about lighting and stuff, which definitely makes it better. The colored pencil on the hexagons is kind of I wouldn't do that this time, but um this particular stamp set I like a lot just because it's got all the like basic sentiments in both scripty and non-scripty, so you can stick them together. Anyway, I would say if you're new to card making and are buying stuff like a just a basic sentiment stamp you like, you're gonna get so much mileage out of it. But this one has a bunch of hexagons. Actually, I might have to use it in the near future for a project. Oh, this is one of my favorite cards. Another one of my favorite ones. Just because I think this whale is so cute, and I really like the whale pattern, and I like the relaxed sentiment. It's a double easel, I think, is what it's called. So like the top part is like an easel, and then it folds down, but the area with like the four squares, you actually can like hide things in there. I mean, like you can do like a hidden message or like a other sentiment or whatever. But I mean, this is a good example of a you don't actually need tools to do stuff. Um, Here, I think the hidden element was just sort of the wave, but I don't know that I would change too much on this one. I might do a little more with the actual ocean to make it look cool. Oop, where did my cursor go? This I think is a more like successful version of coloring this moped, although there's still stuff I would change now. But um, I still just I love just using the Cricut to do sentiments because that's how that summer vibes thing came around. Um, oh, this is when I won a gift certificate to Not Too Shabby because that's where the paper is from. But again, I don't think like you still see that we have a like a floating moped in space. I do kind of like the idea of the pocketbook hanging from the sentiment. That's kind of neat. I don't know. I feel like this would be a little stronger without the moped, but anywho. And not too much to say about this one. Again, this is just a pretty simple card. I don't have much to say. Oh, this is a fun one too. I like this card a lot. I think this is the first time I got involved doing Kendra's card challenges because that's who did the sketch. Um, this is probably Kendra's card challenge 8 or something. Um, I feel like this one had like a way more successful color palette. Like I think the yellow and the green and the blue are all like very late spring, early summer kind of colors, which I'd like to be happening right now. I I didn't ask you, Scott. Are you getting nailed with snow as well? It's been snowing all day here, and everyone decided to like close like all the businesses and everything. Um, this card I like a lot too, but I don't think there's a lot to say about it because it's just sort of. Might have been the first time I ever used like an actual die panel, which is what the honeycomb thing is. Oh yay! I should get your opinions once we get through this, I should get your opinions on the I'm trying to pick inks and you probably know more about distress inks than I do. This I think was when I was kind of getting into doing more clean and simple cards because there's not a ton going on here, but it's just sort of a fun, straightforward card. I'd probably do a little something more with the happy birthday, like bling it up somehow. And this is kind of the start too of the like I will use fall colors in any season all the time thing that I kind of do. This card I like a lot just because like the coloring on the dude I feel like is so much more successful than like the earlier ones. This is also a little bit of a joyfold. It's the same not too shabby paper, but the thing is if this is closed, it kind of you can't quite see the dude, so I like that as sort of a fun little element. And this might be my first pocket card. It's got a cute little tag in there. Does she? Now I wasn't familiar with her until she was on Craft Roulette, but as I understand, like she's a big deal. For whatever that's worth, I guess. Because I was like, wow, she's really good. But yeah, I don't know. I think I mean, this is another one where it's like basically I just did some ink blending. And it looks like I tried to give some ground to the barn here. So I think that was sort of a improvement. Again, this is sort of the same idea as some of the other ones. Oh, you see the little bunny paperclip on it. Again, just I don't think I was patient enough with my colored pencil coloring. But I don't know. This is still a technique I use now where you can kind of, put in this idea of a sky and an idea of a lake and, be mostly done. Oh, this is a neat project. This is actually a box, but it's sort of masculine birthday on the outside and like honeybee on the inside. So it's kind of a neat thingy. Oh, is she? Okay, that makes sense. Because I know I saw her in someone else's video or live or something. She really is. Oh, I should show you this. Let me, if I can find it. I found it. Let's see if I can find something quickly. And I just lost it. Oh well. Um, I'll have to show you it later, Scott. But I actually have a die that makes a pocket for a pocket card. So I found that when I was cleaning up my craft room, and I'm like, oh, okay, well, I guess I'll have to make a little pocket on her Valentine's Day card. Good luck. I think we have a lot of snow, so hopefully it's not too bad. Oh, boo. Well, that's no fun. This one's fun. I don't know. I liked these are last minute Manda digital stamps, and I really like coloring these. These are just fun. Yeah, I think this is one where like you can see I picked the same pattern, so I feel like my eye for like not putting nine patterns that didn't go together got a lot better over time. But I don't know. I mean, I feel like oddly, I don't know that from like an actual like composition standpoint, things changed all that much. It's more that like with practice, you can see like on this card that like the card panels are straight and a few other details that like we're missing on earlier cards. Oh, I forgot about this one. This one is I should pull out. I have the die for this right here. I should make more avocados, but there's a it makes a pair of avocados that are kind of cute. Yeah, I'm not sure why I picked brown. Like I like the brown with the I don't know. I would probably change up this color palette today. There's some things on it that are a little odd. And then here's another Frankie, this time in the mountains. This one I liked a lot. This is just ink blended, but like I really took the time to do a really vibrant ink blend. So that one is kind of neat. It kind of gives a like a blurry background kind of effect. Yes. Well, I have those mini temporary tattoos. I'll have to send her one and she can give it to some child or use it, whichever. Oh, I like this one a lot. This is cute. It's got a belly band and stuff, but it's just sort of I like this dog a lot. I think the dog makes it cute, but I don't know. This is one I'd probably remix today just because it's a little I don't know, there's nothing super cohesive about it. And then this is a crazy card I made with Delise on Alive. Whoops. So the next two cards are wild. So this is one I made with Delise on Alive, and I actually sent it to a friend of mine who started a business as like a congratulations card because it says you are magical on the inside. That's hilarious. Then the other weird card. This was uh this was a get well card I sent somebody who was into video games. Um but I love this t-shirt die. It's odd because now I'm on a team with somebody who actually designed the thing, but um this is a good example of like a die that's super versatile because like a t-shirt can be anything. Oh, this one was I like this one a lot. Like here I feel like the colors actually like they all go together really well. I feel like this was I think this was one of the mini card kit challenges. And then here's another one using the t-shirt with more of a Western vibe. And this one's pretty neat. You see the hexagon showing up again. And this is actually the same postcard that I used on the Valentine's Day card. I like it a lot. I actually like these sort of trees in the background. I don't know. I don't love how the green and the brown kind of blend in. Like I feel like if I had sort of popped up that hexagon piece, it would have looked cooler. This one I really like. This was also a card kit one, but uh it's basically was this a card kit? It might have been something else. I thought this was a live stream challenge of some sort because you see like as time goes on, like a lot more elements get built up. Like you see a lot more layers, I think, in the newer cards than you did before. And then this is the last one that I think I found. This is actually a tag. It's a drop down mini gatefold. So like again, you see the all sorts of layers and stuff. But anyway, did we learn anything? I guess that doing stuff makes you better at it. But you guys might probably didn't need me to tell you that. But yeah, I'm glad that the and this is the more recent postcard. You can see it's like exactly the same die, just with stamps. But I mean, this one I really like this die as an idea because a postcard can be anything. So like it would be super easy to use. But anyway, I don't know if this was helpful or not, but it's a good walkthrough if you're just interested to see like sort of where I started and like where I landed and I don't know. I think the one thing I would tell myself if I was coming back now is don't be so hard on yourself when it comes to how these cards look because anyone you send them to, they're gonna like them. And really, a lot of the like design stuff matters a lot more. You know, if you're looking for something that's more generically accepted, I guess. Like if you're looking for something that looks like a handmade card, but you know, do whatever makes you happy, I guess is my message for today. But it's great talking to you guys, and I will talk to you guys again on Sunday, if not before. Thanks, Don. And yeah, I don't know. If you guys have thoughts on other topics you want to see on the beginner series, let me know. Um, I don't know that I have anything specifically planned for this series, but we have a lot of snow themed things to do for the rest of the month for my challenge. And if you make a snow card, please submit it. Facebook links are below somewhere, probably on this. You're welcome. It was good seeing you on a snow day, as well as seeing you, Scott. So, and everybody else. So, hopefully, you all survive the Arctic, whatever this is. And I will chat with you all later.